Hey, ladies and gents, welcome to Ladies Who Lunch. Today we're going to be talking about engagements and young marriage.
So today, because we're talking about engagements, it's only right that we bring on the guy I feel did it best, my brother-in-law, Vern. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, name's Vern, as you just said. I'm married to this beautiful woman here. We have one son. Name is Ananias. Funny little guy, a lot of character. And my full-time job, I do emergency gas leak. I'm an emergency gas leak responder slash gas mechanic. And as a hobby, I took up photography for about, I want to say I took up the camera 2 years now, but I've been into photography for about 4 years. So yeah. And if you want to see some of my work, my photography page is on Instagram is diversion photography or diversion underscore photography.
And I'll put it on the screen somewhere.
There you go. Yeah. And yeah, right? Yeah. It's about myself. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining our table.
Okay.
Welcome.
All right.
So, today, because we have a guest on LWL, we're going to have 2-minute discussion questions and answer instead of 1 minute. Usually we do 1 minute when it's just the two of us so that we don't rant. We're still going to do that, but instead it's just going to be 2 minutes instead of one.
Yeah.
So, tell us how you proposed.
Okay. So this one is actually kind of a tricky one. Well, not tricky, but it was a challenge because...
How many proposals did you have?
It was only one. But anyways, because the type of person that she is, it's hard to keep a secret from her. You know, she always wants to know, what you're doing or what you're trying to plan because she doesn't like surprises. Fun fact, actually, when I started dating her, she just told me, "Oh, you can't surprise me." And I said, "Why?" She says, "Because I have a bad heart." Now, when she says things, I actually thought that this was a medical condition. Like I actually couldn't surprise her. But come to find out, no, she just likes to talk crazy like that. Anyways, what I did was I wanted to make it a scavenger hunt. I know that I wanted to have her family involved in it. So to kind of sidetrack her, at that time I lived in Brooklyn, New York, and she lived in Bordentown, New Jersey. And she would have to travel to come to New York, obviously. So I told her to bring all her friends. We are going to have a scavenger hunt, which was guys versus girls. Now, everybody else knew that the ultimate ending of the scavenger hunt would be my proposal to her. But this was just to allow time for her family members and my friends to be able to get to the final location so that they could actually be there as a surprise also when I did propose to her. So we met it at 34th Street, Penn Station, as soon as she got off the train. Her girlfriends, they all, took off at certain spots. Meanwhile, I had one person in the group texting me, letting me know, where she was at the time. And I was just simply waiting at the train station, not running around, waiting for her mom and her aunt and other family members to come off the train. And we went straight to the final destination. And I proposed to her at Brooklyn Botanical Gardens, which is actually a beautiful, beautiful place, especially around the time that we actually did do the proposal, which almost went bad, might I say. But I'm glad that it went great, and
It was great.
it was great. Yeah, it makes for, in the words of my wife, it makes for a story every single time she gets asked how was she proposed to. So
Yeah.
It was great.
at least that was fun.
Yeah.
So for the first question, because his proposal was so elaborate, for the first question I'm going to time is, how important do you feel engagements are the way you propose?
Am I going first, or you want to take this one?
Anyone.
I'll go on my perspective. I feel like it's very important because as a guy, you want your wife to be happy, smiling ear to ear when she's telling other people how the proposal went. you know, it's is in general being married is like a fairy tale situation. So it's like the beginning of a fairy tale, you know. So for it to be elaborate, it shows your interest in her as a person because you put the time and effort and you didn't want to take the easy way out and just asking, "Will you marry me?" You know.
I think that is really important because I feel like you just need. I mean, that just kind of shows you how your marriage kind of will go over time. I feel like because if you don't propose to me well, I don't know if girls have the. They definitely have the right to say no. Like if my proposal wasn't good, I'd be like, maybe we can try again. I mean, maybe like that's the nice way, but I feel like it's important. Like you have to plan those things out because, yes, and I did try so hard to find out what it was. I actually thought it was gonna be the weekend before, and when it didn't happen, I just was like,
Heartbroken.
okay. So I really was surprised when it actually did happen because then by that point I stopped. I stopped worrying about it.
Got you. And
It's important though. I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person to say no.
I think I think it's important.
And
Don't be boring about it.
yeah, I'm glad that it was a yes and I didn't get try again.
Yeah, that would have been ooh.
It was
that
good.
would've sucked.
I loved it.
What's up? Oh, what a money.
Time's
I
up.
got some
So-
sound there. Okay.
Next question: what is the hardest part about getting married young? Go.
Well, for me, I believe it was doubt.
Ooh, I was gonna say that.
Doubt, yes. Yes, because getting married young, a lot of older people may feel like, oh, you haven't lived life long enough, so you don't know what all consists of being married or how serious being married is. You know, so you have a lot of older people that look down on you and they may not voice it to say, oh, I hope it fails. And they may not even feel like I hope it fails, but they may have that little feeling that says
They're feeling doubt.
it might fail, you know, it might not go the way you feel it's going to go. So I know for us, to avoid that doubt, we actually covered all our bases, you know. We talked about it, you know, when we got further along in our dating relationship. We talked about, you know, who would we want at our wedding. We made a list, how much. And before we even involve our parents, you know, to help us, we actually made a budget that I felt like we ourselves could have, you know, covered if our parents, you know, weren't yeah, and I wouldn't say supportive in a financial way if they couldn't have, because you know I have siblings and you know she has you as her sibling also, so you know after we get married, being married is only one day, you know, your wedding is one day. To have all that money go and to have other, you know, problems, or not even problems but responsibilities that you have to take care of as an adult, I wouldn't want to leave our parents in that situation. So that's why we you know, we discussed that, and you know, we wanted to make sure that we covered all the bases because we didn't want doubt to
Encroach.
encroach. And
You said you were gonna say the same thing.
I was definitely gonna say the same things. Is doubt is so big. I feel like, and I feel like as somebody young, you have a care.
We'll let her finish her thought. Go ahead.
You have a care what people think about what you're doing. So when you have that kind of care, doubt really does affect you.
Yeah.
that's true.
So the next question is, what is the some advantages and disadvantages of being married?
Well,
Start.
okay. I know one big advantage is we get to grow together. You know, I feel like being married young is a good choice because if you know the person and the person has their head on their shoulders and this is something that they want and something that you want also, you bypass the factor of having to try to change that person.
Yeah.
You know, and
When you're older, I think you're more stuck in your ways.
yeah.
When you're young, you're more
More
malleable, and
malleable.
you can really kind of come together as one and be like, oh, you know, I wash my laundry this way.
Yep.
Okay, I can try to wash your laundry that way if that's what you like, if that's what you're used to, and just kind of being being able to compromise.
Even that comes along with it too. With age, you know, once you're older, you have a lot of problems, background problems. You know, past situations, past relationships. It kind of, you know, hardens your heart to an extent. But if you find somebody at a young age, you know, I'm all for it. You know, just of course you definitely have to cover your bases and make sure that morally, spiritually, you know, financially, you guys are on the right path. You know, this is something that you both want, and it's a direction that you both are going to. And it's not, look.
And you may not have it all together financially.
Yeah.
But some kind of stability financially to get started.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You know, you don't want to get married, because if you don't, what tends to happen is a lot of arguments. So.
Because they say money like ruins marriages.
A lot.
Like that's like one of the biggest reasons why people get divorced. So you don't really want to.
Yeah, let that be the start of it at the beginning. Yeah, that's true. Well.
They actually finished it with some time left. So let's see. The next question: what helped you to know you were ready for marriage?
Me personally, from the example that my parents had, especially with my father, it was more so a factor of making sure that you're able to take care of yourself before you put that bigger weight of responsibility on your shoulder when it comes to taking care of a family. So for me, that involved, like I said, my spirituality, making sure that was strengthened, but also a job, or you know, a real stable job, you know, something that I felt like, okay, I want to be able to see if I could take care of my family, just me, because I would appreciate, you know, my family being home, you know, to enjoy life in general as is. And if she wanted to work where she has her own job, she's an entrepreneur, you know, I'm very proud of her. You know, it gives her that opportunity to be able to venture off that way. But back to that, I wanted to make sure, you know, that I was able to take care of my family, and having a good job, you know, enabled me to do so. But talking about it when you get to that stage to see if this is something that you both want. And
definitely, I feel like we had good communication as far as like, oh, when do you want to get married? Do you want to get married? Because some people talk to people just to have that other person just to talk to. Some people don't want to be married.
And I feel like when you have these conversations over time, it's like your love for the person grows. So love definitely becomes a fact. That's how it grows, because you see the joy in the other person's eyes as you're talking about a future that you could possibly build together. You know, so when you see that they were just as excited as you, and it's not, and it kind of makes you feel like, oh, well, maybe I should hold back on the marriage talk, or maybe I should hold back on trying to plan a future.
This time.
Yeah. 2 minutes was a good.
Yeah, it was. So, the last question: what do you do to keep your relationship interesting and fun?
Big thing. Spontaneity.
Yes.
Spontaneity.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And they are a lot of fun. I'll tell you that.
I feel like it's important to just get up and go.
Mm-hmm.
Get up and do something. Like, yeah, it's cool to sit in the house and stuff, but like, yeah, sometimes I want to go on a road trip without planning it, or, you know, even having a baby now, like, I feel like we still make an effort to get out and go.
And that's a big thing too. Once you have kids, you know, that's why I say it's a big thing, because a lot of people feel as if when you have kids up, our life is to a stop now. You know, we can't do this.
Which a lot of people told us.
Oh yeah, like we got a lot of that. Yeah.
And like, oh, you're pregnant. Okay.
Well, get ready for everything to be done.
Yeah, like, oh, don't let him walk, cause
he gonna be in it, you know.
He's supposed to walk.
But at the end of the day, the spontaneity is the biggest thing because, you know, it's like out of the blue. And I'm known to be a person that's, you know, okay with chilling, relaxing, but it's spontaneity of doing things.
But you also don't like to be in the house.
Yeah, I get a bit homesick.
I'm more of a homebody where you're not, but I'm more spontaneous.
Yeah.
Like in idea.
An idea. And to fulfill it, I'm okay with going along with it. So, you know, it's not that big of a problem. But like with us, we're not party people. You know, we don't feel like we have to be surrounded by a ton of people to feel like we're enjoying ourselves. Mm-hmm. It could literally just be us two, our closest friends. You know that you guys are. And even if we have other people around us to enjoy ourselves at the time being, but restaurants, traveling, photography, as I've mentioned before, you know, my top models here, a lot of photo shoots. You know, there's different things that you wouldn't normally do. So.
Perfect timing. Well, for the last question, and this is just for Vern, sorry, Siani. What is your favorite lunch spot, and what is your favorite meal from there?
Man. I've tried some other spots, but I think my favorite spot would be, because of the area that we live in, you know, trying to figure out some places. Kitchen 519. I do like that place a lot. It's little, quaint, you know. A good thing for me too is that it has the ability for me to be able to post my artwork in the store. So it is for sale there. Some of my pictures are for sale there, my prints. And the favorite thing that I like there is when I go on brunch on Sundays, and it's I believe it's the buffalo chicken and waffles. The buffalo chicken and waffles. That's amazing. So if you guys ever get a chance to go to Kitchen 519 in Glendora, New Jersey,
We're gonna put the
I'll put
address.
the information on the screen.
you should definitely try that dish. It's amazing.
Yes. So thank you once again for joining our table,
Thank
and
you for having me.
You're a good guest.
I try.
we hope you guys come back.
Definitely join our table again. Bye, guys. Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome.
No, you're not gonna come right away.
Oh.
ALDO.
I just really exactly that. Yeah.
Because when she got quiet, I was like,
what she said? And yeah, she said,
and I'll put the name on the screen too.
yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
We don't want an episode like last time.
I'll see it for a while. I can see if I'm